Kahne didn't lose this NASCAR truck race because he got outrun. He lost it because NASCAR made a call they later admitted shouldn't have happened after the damage was already done. And now one of the biggest championship swings of the season is sitting under a giant question mark. At NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series at Watkins Glen, Gio Ruggiero looked like the fastest truck on the track when it mattered most. He passed Zilisch late, took control of the race, and had a clear shot at locking up a massive win for TRICON Garage. Then everything changed in a split second on a restart NASCAR says he violated. Only problem? NASCAR now admits the situation wasn't that simple. Ruggiero got tagged from behind by Brenden entering the restart zone. Not wrecked, not spun, just bumped enough to roll him forward before he officially accelerated. NASCAR immediately called it a restart violation and sent the number 17 to the rear. Game over. Except he really wasn't. Because after the race, NASCAR reportedly apologized to Ruggiero and his team, acknowledging the visibility around the restart zone was compromised due to barriers near turn 7. In other words, officials may not have had a clean look at what actually happened before throwing one of the most important penalties of the season. But here's the brutal reality. The apology changes absolutely nothing. The win is gone. The playoff points are gone, and the standings already moved on without him. That's the part nobody inside that garage is going to forget. Ruggiero didn't just lose a trophy. He potentially lost postseason security in a championship format where every playoff point matters. Those 5 bonus points can save a driver in later elimination rounds. They can be the difference between advancing and going home. Instead of celebrating in victory lane, Ruggiero drove from the back all the way to 15th in just 2 laps, which honestly made the whole situation look even worse for NASCAR because it proved how dominant that truck really was. And if you're TRICON Garage, this creates a weird internal dynamic too. Kaden, Honeycutt, Ruggiero's own teammate, inherited the front row spot after the penalty chaos and went on to win the race. Same team, same equipment. 2 completely different emotions. One side of the garage is spraying champagne. The other side is sitting there hearing, sorry, our mistake. That's uncomfortable, and this is where the bigger NASCAR conversation starts. Because restart officiating has become one of the most dangerous gray areas in the sport. The rule itself is clear. The leader cannot accelerate before the designated zone. If they do, it's an automatic penalty. But this wasn't a clean-cut jump. This was contact-induced movement. That's a huge difference. The problem is NASCAR's system doesn't really leave room for context once the call is made. After the green flag cycles through, the ruling becomes final. No reversal, no correction, no giving the win back. So even if the replay later shows the driver got pushed, it doesn't matter anymore. That's a serious issue for a sport increasingly decided by split-second officiating calls. And honestly, the optics are rough here. Fans can accept a driver making a mistake. They struggle accepting a championship contender losing a race because of an avoidable officiating error. Especially when NASCAR later admits visibility around the restart zone itself was flawed. That's the detail that changes everything. If officials didn't have a clean angle because barriers blocked the painted line, then NASCAR essentially penalized a driver in one of the season's biggest moments using incomplete visual information. That's tough to defend. Now, on the other side of this story, Zilisch walked away frustrated too, but for a completely different reason. After Ruggiero's penalty, Zilisch inherited control late and looked positioned to steal the win. But you could tell the earlier penalties got into his head. Instead of attacking the overtime restart aggressively, he played it cautious. Telemetry reportedly showed he wasn't fully committed on throttle at the green because he was terrified of becoming the next driver penalized for jumping the zone. And that hesitation opened the door for Honeycutt. That's the hidden impact of controversial officiating nobody talks about enough. It changes driver behavior in real time. Zilisch didn't lose because his truck lacked speed. He lost because uncertainty made him tentative. Meanwhile, Honeycutt went all in. Later breaking into turn 1. More aggressive due the bus stop. More committed on corner entry. That confidence won him the race by less than half a second. So now you've got 3 completely different storylines colliding at once. Ruggiero feels robbed. Zilisch feels cautious. Cost him. Honeycutt leads with the trophy and points lead. That's chaos from one restart sequence, and strategically, this could ripple through the entire Truck Series playoff picture. Toyota gained ground in the manufacturer battle. Honeycutt took over momentum. Ruggiero dropped critical points despite arguably having race-winning pace. And now every restart for the next several weeks is going to be examined under a microscope. Because once NASCAR admits an officiating mistake publicly, drivers stop trusting consistency. That That's dangerous. Best case scenario, NASCAR learns from this immediately, improves visibility standards at restart zones, and officials become more cautious before throwing automatic penalties in critical moments. Worst case scenario, drivers start second guessing every restart, afraid that even incidental contact could destroy their race. And if that happens, you're going to see hesitation, controversy, and more races decided in the NASCAR hauler instead of on the racetrack. The biggest question now is simple. Did NASCAR protect the integrity of the rule book or damage the integrity of the race itself? Because those are not always the same thing. And if you're Gio Ruggiero, that apology probably feels a lot smaller than the 5 playoff points that disappeared with it. So what do you think? Did NASCAR make the right call based on the rule, or should there be a system allowing obvious mistakes like this to be corrected after review? And honestly, was Connor Zilisch too cautious on that final restart, or was NASCAR's officiating already in his head by then? Drop your take in the comments, and if you want more high-level NASCAR breakdowns like this every week, make sure you subscribe to SportsWire USA.